It's a great pleasure to welcome you all to the annual City of Long Beach Black History Month celebration. In addition to our employees here at the City of Long Beach, City Hall, as well as the Port of Long Beach, we have several guests, some of which include the National Pan-Hellenic Council, the African American Cultural Center Committee, the African American Heritage Society of Long Beach, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, 06, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and many other organizations. We're here today to celebrate the vital role that African Americans have played in the development and progress of our country, and more specifically, here in the city of Long Beach. We acknowledge those such as Doris Topsy L. Ward, who was the first African American woman elected to City Council here in Long Beach, and Ernest Samuel McBride Sr., a civil rights activist, community leader, and the co-founder of the Long Beach chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, also known as NAACP. The work that we are all doing day in and day out, including today, is work that oftentimes may feel taxing and tedious, but we must remember that we have a greater responsibility to those that will come after us. It is our role, duty, and responsibility to ensure the narrative of Black excellence as we continue to inspire and continue to set higher standards for future generations. So with that said, I do want to mention that this is my 4th year being involved in the City Hall, City of Long Beach Black History Month celebration, and I am very impressed with the turnout that we have this afternoon. This is by far the largest that I've seen. And I look forward to all that we have in store for you this afternoon. So without any further ado, I will pass it on to my co-MC, Matthew Hamlet from District 9, who is also going to be discussing the welcome and the work that is being done in the district, and then introducing the city officials. So without further ado, Matthew.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. So once again, my name is Matthew Hamlet. I'm the Chief of Staff for Councilmember Rex Richardson. First and foremost, let's put some hands together for the folks that work so hard to put everything before you together. I was speaking to some folks that were working on this, and they really emphasized that, above all, this was a labor of love, right? This is an opportunity to really show the love, the culture, the dedication, not only to the history that informs where we've been, but the history that will dictate where we continue to go in terms of inspiration. So thank you. Christian, do you have the list of? Yes. So before we get started with the formal program, we wanted to acknowledge some elected officials and leaders in our community that are here today. So first and foremost, would like to recognize Mayor Robert Garcia. I saw him right over there. Mayor Garcia, leader of our city, thank you so much. Oh, there he is over there. So we also have our esteemed council members. So I see Councilwoman Mary Zendejas from District 1. Councilwoman Janine Pierce, District 2. I think I saw somewhere Councilwoman Susie Price. Councilmember Daryl Superna. Councilmember Stacy Mungo. Right up here we have Vice Mayor Dee Andrews. Councilmember Roberto Arenga. Councilmember Al Austin. and of course, Councilmember Rex Richardson. So I do have a few more people to mention. If we could hold our applause to the end, just to make sure we can get right to the program. Just running through, folks. We have our city attorney, Charlie Parkin, city auditor, Laura Dowd, city prosecutor, Doug Hobart. We have our acting city manager, Tom Modica, acting city manager, or acting assistant city manager, Rebecca Gardner. I believe I saw deputy city manager, Kevin Jackson, as well. We also have our school board member, Megan Kerr. Felton Williams. We have Senator Lena Gonzalez, or a representative, as well as a representative from Assemblymember Patrick O'Donnell's office, and a host of others. So once again, this is a labor of love. This is folks coming together to recognize our community. So let's give a round of applause for all of our folks that are here today. And without further ado, I'd like to pass it off to the individual that really dedicated time to make this event possible, my boss, Councilmember Rex Richardson.
Well, I haven't seen our Civic Center lobby look quite this way. It must be Black History Month, folks. Let's hear it for brothers, both of them rising stars in the city of Long Beach, both Matthew Hamlet and Christian Cambridge. You know, and both of them came up on the 9th District staff, so they're not going anywhere. These people have a bright future. We just want to, we're going to hear from Vice Mayor Andrews and Councilman Austin, but I wanted to just, lift up a few things. So first, I want to make sure that you get over and try some of the food. All the food today was donated. You have Sal's Gumbo Shack that helped us out, Robert Earl's Barbecue that helped us out, but really Georgia's, which is in the 5th District and came out of Orange County. The first place was in Orange County. I see Stacy with her hand up. It's a 5th District restaurant. Georgia's, they're actually here, so we want to make sure we check them out, and they have their second location. They opened at Long Beach Exchange. I know we're going to see, there were a few, I just have to say it, it was some Alpha brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha in here, so I just had to shout out the Alphas. There's quite a few Alphas in here. We might see some of them a little bit later. There it is. Hey, Phi. Cal State Long Beach right here, Mu Chi, that's my chapter. All right, so look, we do this every year. We rotate between the 6th District, the 8th District, and the 9th District. It fell on my turn to host it this year. And really it's about history and it's about tradition. And we know that history, particularly oral history, is important and critical to our culture. I remember growing up and hearing the stories of my family, my ancestors, how, and I would take my wife and my daughters to Alabama and see where my grandfather, Sylvester McCrary, is buried next to his father, Dressman McCrary, who's buried next to his father, Charlie McCrary, who was son of Jim McCrary. Jim, Saint, and Ben were 3 slaves from North Carolina. These stories and knowing what they are and what they do and what their lives were about, that's really a part of our culture. I think Black History Month is really looking at the tapestry of Long Beach, recognizing our unique history in Long Beach and where we fit into the national scheme of things. I think you'll see, and you'll hear more a little bit later about these 2 amazing exhibits that really sort of encompass and encapsulate Black history in America and Black history right here in Long Beach. We're really proud of these exhibits. I want to also, I want to just shout out, I want to take a moment. Since last year to this year, we know that there have been some titans in the Black community that are no longer with us. So I want to take a moment and call some of these people out and just take a quick moment of silence. So first, we want to recognize Matthew Jenkins. Next, we want to also recognize Carolyn Smith Watts, Patricia Woodward, and Bill Barnes. So we want to lift them up, and I'm going to ask you to join me in a moment of silence and just recognizing these 4 pillars in the Black community. Thank you. So at this point, I want to recognize and bring up Councilman Vice Mayor DeAndrews, who's a living legend, to come up and give us. Oh, you want to go? Okay. So he passed it off to Al to go first. So Councilman Austin's done a really good job with the African American Cultural Center. Let's hear it for him and some of the efforts he's taken on.
Thank you. I also want to just say thank you, everybody, for being here, but also recognize our Black Employees Association and Councilmember Richardson for this great presentation. I do not think that we've now been doing this for 8 years. We started out small. We wanted to make it a tradition that seems to grow and become stronger and better every year, and let's continue that. African Americans are making an impact and have made an impact in the city of Long Beach for a very long time, and it's great that the city of Long Beach recognized that for not only its people, but its employees. Everybody needs to feel included and part of this great city, and we certainly have made our mark, and we'll continue to do that. As many of you know, about 2 years ago, many of you were here for an important city council meeting, well, actually across the street, where we came together and said, as a city council, we wanted to develop an African American cultural and arts center to celebrate our culture, to celebrate the arts, but also to come together and have a place and a space in the city of Long Beach to come together as a community. And not next week, but the week after, we'll be coming back with a report on the progress of that efforts, and many of you guys in this room have been through the planning on the task force, but actually participating in the meetings. And if you have, please raise your hand. Please be acknowledged. Let's give them a big round of applause because they are doing some great work for our city. And so today is a proud day. I'm always proud of this event. I'm glad to see it grow the way it has. And I want to really congratulate Councilmember Richardson, his staff, and his team for making this event so special. Thank you very much for being here. And I'd be remiss if I didn't have the opportunity, and I am honored to have the opportunity to introduce the OG on the City Council. And that is our Vice Mayor, who has been here for over, yeah, we won't put the, he came with the sand, I always say. But Councilmember and Vice Mayor DeAndrews has done so much for this city. He serves with his heart, and he has the distinction of only being the person, only person to ever beat me in an election. So with that, I am honored to recognize him. Let's give it up for our Vice Mayor DeAndrews.
Thank you. Thank you, Al. That couldn't have happened if I was much younger, but since at the age, they just represented me and gave me that respect. But today I am so excited that we get 29 days to be black. And we will get an extra day because we got Black Friday. So we moving. I'm telling you guys, we are moving. But here I want to thank everybody for being here today to celebrate Black History Month. Seeing so many of you out here is refreshing to me because where the times in Long Beach, people like me could not even come downtown. And I lived through those times, and I'm proud to be here and we've come such a long, long ways, whether you guys realize it or not. And what I really would like to say, and represent the city in so many different ways. So we really stand on the shoulders of a giant. That young man by the name of Dr. Martin Luther King. Never in our wildest dreams did we think that we'd be sitting right here or standing here and doing the things that we're doing to people of color. You guys, I just want to let you know, I wore black and white today because, hey, black and white. So it's a good color because of the fact that it represents so many things. And I want to thank all of you here to keep things moving forward because of the fact that these are the kind of days our young future and generation let them know you can be whatever you'd like to be. Let nothing destroy your hopes and dreams. God bless every one of you. And now I'd like to introduce our fantastic young mayor, Dr. Robert Garcia, excuse me.
Well, thank you. And first, I want to just welcome everyone and to see our Civic Center activated this way and to see all of you gather here to celebrate such an important part of our year is really important. It means a lot. This presentation is beautiful and exactly the type of art and photography and history that we should be celebrating as a community. So let's give another big round of applause to everyone involved in this amazing presentation. Like Vice Mayor Andrews says, it is, of course, Black History Month, and we will celebrate, but we really should celebrate the incredible contributions of Black Americans and those in our community every single day of the year. The city of Long Beach is one of the most diverse communities in the United States, and it's an honor for us to have so many Black Americans, Black residents from our community that have contributed and made all of us here a more just and equitable community. We are reflecting on amazing leaders that we see on this wall, as well as leaders in our community. And it's a time to celebrate advancements, not just in community service, but politics, science, the arts, and so many other areas as well. We also know that throughout this time, we celebrate the work of what's happening in our community, but we also think about what's happening across the country. And while there is a lot of progress that has been made, let's not forget that there's a lot of progress that still needs to happen. We know that for Black Americans, the struggle around issues around wealth and access to education and attainment for housing is still incredibly difficult. And as a country, we have a long way to go to honor, respect, and support the contributions of all Black Americans as we honor the incredible injustices that have been made to this community in our country. On behalf of the city, I want to also thank everyone in this building that works every day to bring services and love to our community. It's not lost on me that many of those that work here are African American. And in fact, I am proud that over our years, those that have been a part of this city and this city team continue to be here and to contribute so much. Let's give all of our city commissioners that are African American and that do the hard work a big round of applause. And I also want to especially thank, and I'm going to point them out and have them walk up here, we also have an amazing group of talented managers that are African American that are representing not just our city, but our community as well. And I want to introduce them. Leading our airport, one of the few Black women leading an airport in the United States, Cynthia Guidry. Please come up and let's give her a big round of applause. I want to welcome also, again, one of the few Black women leading development and planning in a city, certainly here locally, and just an amazing person, one of my faves, Linda Tatum. Our services, Linda, come on up. We have also our Director of Emergency Preparedness and Disaster Management, the guy that we're going to look to if there's anything really bad that ever happens, and that's our brother Reggie over here. Let's give Reggie a big round of applause. Reggie Harrison. Wait, yeah, come up closer. Don't leave yet, Cynthia. Linda, come up closer. I want you guys to take a picture at the end, too. Then we also have the woman that leads our library system with amazing dignity and grace and class, Linda Tatum. Linda Tatum. I just introduced Linda. Glenda, please come forward. Let's thank you for a big round of applause. These folks are leading the way, and I just want to thank you guys. Let's give them a round of applause. And I'm going to ask our three council members, please come up there and let's take a picture with these guys really quick. And I'll turn the program back over to Matthew. All right, let's give Matthew a round of applause.
Perfect. So I want to acknowledge that the program's going a little long, and we know that everybody's hungry, so we're going to keep this going. So without further ado, to talk a little bit about the beautiful presentation you've seen in front of you, Councilmember Rex Richardson.
All right, folks. So I have to tell you, just sitting back, it's hard to pay attention to the program when you have these amazing, striking, stunning images here. This wouldn't have been possible. I want to talk about both of these exhibits. So a few months ago, we reached out. We were at Long Beach Post, and Sharon McLucas, we ran into her and we talked about an idea. Sharon, you want to just come up for a minute? We talked about her. We had talked about doing something for Black History Month that really sort of highlighted and gave us an opportunity to use this wall in a way that really highlights our community. And Sharon stepped up, and the Long Beach Post team stepped up and really came up with something beautiful. Let's hear it for Shannon and hear a few comments from Sharon.
So good afternoon, good evening. My name is Sharon McLucas, and on behalf of the Long Beach Post, we welcome you to the Black History Program. We are here to highlight some African Americans that have made significant contributions in the city of Long Beach. They vary in backgrounds, serving different roles in the community. In music, we recognize Grammy Award-winning Thelma Houston, Snoop Dogg, award-winning recording artist and actor Kevin Anderson, owner of VIP Records for 41 years in the city of Long Beach. In sports, Olympian John Rambo, Coach Don Norford, inducted into the National Track and Field Hall of Fame in the United States. Crystal Irving, athletic director of Poly High School. Willie McGinnis, three-time Super Bowl winner. In education and history, Dr. Felton Williams, president of the Long Beach Unified School District for 4 terms. Bobby Smith, first African-American educator. I'm almost done. I'm sorry. First African-American educator to Long Beach Unified School District. Nicole Ballard, president of the African American Heritage Society. In the community, we honor Pastor Wayne Chaney, pastor of Antioch Church of Long Beach, Naomi Rainey Pearson Properties, and president of the NAACP, Laverne Duncan, director of Andy Street Association, an array of business owners in the community and activists, including Ahmed Safir, Renee Qualls, Alicia Wade, Evelyn Knight, Ivan Seals, Michael Baker, and many others. Lastly, I salute my mother, Artula Scott, who was the first and only African-American resident in Long Beach to have a street named after her. The honor was awarded to her for her dedicated service in the 8th District and in the city at large. A relationship with these people, and I know I speak on behalf of them to say that I know that they're proud. We're passing the torch for future leaders. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Let's hear it one more time from Ms. McLucas for pulling this together. So you'll see 2 exhibits. So this one is highlighting local images, and the other one called Remembering Our Roots. So those are images actually commissioned by the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. And so we worked with agency ETA to secure those photos, and we also highlighting the work of local photographer Jeff Lewis, who was one of the exclusive photographers of the Lakers, and he was able to license us a super high resolution photo to make sure Kobe Bryant was included in this sort of national significance presentation. So a lot went into this. This will be on display all month. It's going to be in rotation, both these exhibits. And we're going to take a moment and look at this, but in the meantime, we have, where's Philosophy? We want to invite up Philosophy, local artist. He's been on Verses and Flows. He's been on Def Poetry Jam. He's a North Long Beach guy. He's like, he's Jordan High School grad. So without further ado, as we take this in, we're going to hear a piece from Philosophy, the unsigned paradigm to poetry.
I'm a soldier, a sojourner truth with a noose around the neck of racism, racing. Masters and bloodhounds chasing my 40 acres and a mule like Kunta Kinte wrapped in kente cloth. Guillotine, foot cut off, caught running. Jackie Joyner, Kersey through Miles Davis and muddy waters. I am Dizzy Gillespie's trumpet played in triumph and in victory. I am Black history in the making. Harriet Tubman, tunneling through the Underground Railroad, derailing slavery, slaving to tell her own narrative and narrating freedom to our forefathers and answering the prayers of our ancestors. I am Black.
All right, thank you, Philosophy. Now what I want to do is close us out with a performance from those ice cold brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Mu Chi chapter.
906. It all started with the
Couple last shout outs. First off, let's give a huge round of applause for our Technology and Innovation Department and LBTV, who's responsible for a lot of what you see before you right now. Give them more than that. Come on, they did a lot, y'all. Come on. And finally, before we head over to food, I'd be remiss if we didn't shout out the person who's responsible for putting this entire thing together over there, getting ready to serve you food on the back table, the legislative director for Councilmember Richardson, Alana Grant. So without further ado, thank you for coming, everybody, and happy Black History Month.